So this is the North Branch, and it was a very industrial area. This is a 1904 turn of the century warehouse. Any history of this thing? It was Montgomery Ward's distribution warehouse. Across the street is where they did the phone orders, and the newer white building, which is now all residential, was their office complex there in the 60s and 70s. About 1 million square feet. This guy was an egomaniac, Montgomery Ward, and this was his trophy to the industrial world. You know, and it's a really cool warehouse. I love how we've kept some of the integrity of this thing. It's 1 million square feet. I think the first building in the United States, it was over 1 million square feet. 1.1 million square feet runs this whole block along the river. National Historic Landmark, which means, you know, we did some things I'll show you inside, but you have to preserve the integrity of the outside. So, you know, a lot of what we did had the impact what it looks like from the outside. But, you know, sales group, ad sales and that kind of stuff in front, the flow of the office is pretty interesting. We're going to come in and take a look to the back towards our studio, and we have guests that come in, so this is a pretty good flow. They come in. One of the things I like to point out is the floors over here are set up for, you know, for cameras. You can roll the dollies down here. We have a couple different studio facilities along the way. So once we bring our gear in, I think we're going to a couple of different buildings in our facility. Our announcers has his own dressing room per se, because Pizzo and DiNardo and Revson, these guys all come through here. We also have guest announcers and who come in, but the rooms are complete with a little refrigerator. Some of the guys leave their ties. Actually, I borrowed one of the guys' ties today, so there's always nice wardrobe. I think this is a very special room. Once y'all come in here, and I can do just a real quick point down the river. For those of you not familiar with Chicago, this is the Chicago River, the same one that goes under Michigan Avenue. And when it gets down towards this point, it goes north and south, and this here is the North Branch. If you've ever heard of Goose Island Brewery, in fact, that's Goose Island. It's the start of Goose Island. So the river comes and goes around a large structure, and actually you can take a boat ride all the way up. There's some taverns and stuff off Paulstead and other places. You'll see at this time of day there's crew teams that train in here, several different crew teams. They do canoe races as well, as this is part of the architectural tour. So boats come down, they make a turnaround, but very active river. And it's kind of neat to have that down there. There's a river walk for us. We can have lunch. But this is one of my favorite. I wish this was my office. I think it's just a real special view of the city in our office. This is the principal set. We call this the satellite set, when we throw from the basketball announcers to the volleyball announcers, or, you know, it allows us correspondence. But we're all in the same room here. As we take a look, and I was pointing out the integrity of the ceiling, they cut through the concrete here to raise our roof to 16.6 to get, or 18 feet to get the light grid at 14.4 to get the math right to eliminate the shadows. So we also cut through those concrete poles. There's 2 poles they had to take out. So they raised a box up here, but the box goes right to the top of the facade of the roof. So you can't really see it up above the brick facade outside, again, to maintain the integrity of the historic landmark. But this was a really important, we were a very important tenant for this building. When we came in here a year ago, May 21st, the building was at about 35% occupancy. It's over 90% now. The governor, the mayor, Commissioner Delaney, and Mark Silverman were all together at a press conference. I can't remember the last time the governor and the mayor were in the same, you know, at a press conference together. And we were really one of the anchor tenants in this building. So they did, you know, helped us with some provisions, and they certainly have been a good landlord for us. This desk is very cool. I don't know, you guys been around it a little bit, but besides the monitors we pull in, it has real time for multiple games we have going on. There's a couple different computers in here these guys can log into, and all these games have real-time stats. So when they come in and do an update and they go, someone has 120, I mean, they know those numbers because they're doing some of their own research. So they have mouses and they follow copy and scripts and all that. But there's, if you want to take a look, you can see there's a cutout in the desk here. Our engineers are brilliant. They're so skilled. And you know, NFL on Fox is a great package. This room, because we have multiple feeds and layer many different games, the basis for this room was built on the same specs as the Fox NFL in Hollywood. The difference is we were built from the ground up in a high definition mode. Every cable, every monitor, every thought in this place was to maintain pure high definition. For those of you who've seen the network and you've got a good system and you take it through DirecTV or your own, plasma or LED TV, we have got a great looking HD signal. It's because it is such a pure signal. We have 3 of our own mobile units that are built HD, the specs. So once we get going in our transmission link and into our Houston provider, it's such a great pure signal. The Fox and NF in Hollywood, they retrofit HD. They retrofit high definition.